Okay, guys, if you've got a 3D printer that uses the Bowden tube type of feed, and which is what this is right here, is the Bowden tube. The filament, of course, goes in. And one of the problems that these have is if you're having prints that aren't quite up to what you was expecting, if you look, if you can pull your tube in and out like that, that's a problem, because every time the drive retracts the filament, it pulls the tube in, and then whenever it pushes it back out, it pushes the tube out. And that minute amount of movement in the tube causes inaccuracies down here at the extruder. So my fix for this, and it works great, and it's easy. You can see how much movement there is right there. And now I've never had movement here. I'm not saying that some of them don't, but my tubes, where are we at here? My tubes going into the extruder have always been tight and solid at this point. It's always up here at the drive end of it. And this is my fix for that. And that's hot glue. Now the trick to it, this is Teflon sleeve, or Teflon tube, very slick. Take you a piece of sandpaper. This happens to be 440. Just put it around here. Go back and forth a couple times. All you're doing is you're creating minute ridges in the Teflon for that hot glue to have something to adhere to grip. I mean, even when you feel it, I can feel it's not, it's not super smooth anymore. It's got that rough texture to it. So I think this might be hot enough. Let's give it a shot. So now all you're going to do is just build it up with hot glue. Let it run around it. It's alright if it drips down on your bed, it peels right off. I'll take my finger, go around, and once that dries, that tube will not retract in and out at all. I mean, it makes for a very solid, secure connection to the feed, the drive right there. And that has worked for me. I've done this on every time I change out a Bowden tube, which periodically you end up having to change it out. That's what I always do. There might be a better fix for it, but that was my fix that I came up with what I had on hand, and it works so well that I'm just sticking to it. I don't plan on changing it. I have changed these couplers before, and they do the same thing. Now, there might be better brand couplers, but the ones that I've used, they do the same thing. So if you put a little hot glue on your tube, let it dry. And it's still kind of setting up. I'm not going to do it much, but I'll kind of show you. Yeah, it's still too soft. Once that dries, it gets nice and hard. It's not gonna allow that tube to push back anymore. In fact, let me get this glue up off the bed. Well, in fact, we'll just do that right now. In the trash it goes. Yeah, I was getting ready to start another print, and I noticed I just happened to reach up there, and that was moving, so had to do the hot glue trick, which works for me every time. I'm gonna let that dry, then I'll come back and I'll show you. Okay, it's still a little bit soft, but I think it'll probably be good enough. So now, whenever I try to move it, it's solid. I mean, I don't feel any movement there at all. So, quick and simple. You know, a lot of people that probably have 3D printers also have a hot glue gun. I mean, really, that's kind of what this thing is anyway, except it squirts out plastic instead of glue. But quick and easy fix, does the trick. But remember, you've got to rough up the Teflon tube before that hot glue will stick to it. So, and I haven't had any issues doing it that way. Just real quick for you. You guys take care.